Fucking metal.
Love when Fang just bites something in half, like effortlessly. Every time I'm like, oh!
Oh man, that whole episode with like the fucking like monk or the apes that were having like their weird ritual and shit. Oh, that was a brutal one.
Yeah.
All right, hi, welcome to Sumo.
Hello, everyone. I'm Ike. I've got Goose here with me. And
G'day.
introduce yourselves, please.
I'm Matt.
I'm Sabrina.
And we are Sumo Punx. I swear we didn't rehearse that.
To us, like, we literally just like slapped that theme song together in like maybe 15 minutes. Like, we got a clip from like one of the old songs that we had worked on a while ago for our band, and we were like, okay, this sounds cool, let's just like use this and then just say the name of the fucking show on it. Like,
yeah, it's just like us and our roommate, like just going Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx.
Screaming in the living room of our apartment.
It's just like us and our roommate, like just going Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx.
Screaming in the living room of our apartment.
All right.
Sorry, Dad.
All right.
We're here to do the sumo preview for the Haru show. We're gonna run down the Banzuke, and we're gonna try to keep our stories succinct and relevant, but we don't promise that.
Yeah, but at the same time, not really, so.
But also, kind of not.
Seriously, my attention span is like a herd of cats.
No stress.
Well, I'm just gonna walk us through. Unless you guys have anything that I'm sure we'll get to all of our feelings as we go here. If you have anything you want to say before we get going in.
Oh man, I'm just getting this Banzuke pulled up, and I'm probably just going to like talk massive amounts of shit about the promotions and demotions.
Okay.
I know that Takakeisho has
Yes.
said he's going for Yokozuna.
Yes.
So I hope he makes it.
Yes.
Our favorite little battle hamster.
Human wrecking ball.
Yes. Jodai has said his goal is to make it back up to
The Sanyaku.
the Sanyaku ranks. So let's hope he makes it too. He is my goth boyfriend after all.
Lord babe.
But let's see, what was the other? Oh,
Kiribayama going to Sexy Wake.
yes, okay. Kiribayama is Sekiwaki now, so good for him. And then I had like a whole list of like news things that I was compiling. Miyagi-No has a guy in Makuuchi and a guy in Juryo now. So
Well, two guys in Juryo now.
two guys in Juryo?
Yeah, Inho and Ochiai.
Oh.
Yeah, and Hokuseiho he's by Makuuchi now, right? Yeah.
Yes.
That big oak tree bastard.
Oh wait, all right. So that's good. We'll get there. Let's start at the bottom of the Banzuke.
All right.
Chiyomaru gone.
No. If we're going to the bottom of the Banzuke, Higo Hikari is now a Banzuke guy. He's no longer a listed ranked sumo, and will have to wait his turn to get back in. My hometown hero is so low on the list that he's not even on the list. What a shame.
Oh.
Okay. Higo Hikari watch 23.
There's nothing to watch. He was absent last tournament, and because it's rather difficult to find news on 6th division sumos when you don't speak Japanese.
Oh yeah.
Oh, good luck, buddy, wherever you are.
One dork.
I think the only thing that I've ever seen that ever talks about the lower divisions is just Chris Sumo, like hard stop. I haven't seen anything else.
And he didn't mention him, so I just don't know how to find the news.
No. And unfortunately, I don't speak the old Nihongo. I wish I did.
I pretend to speak it, if that counts.
Can speak enough sumo words to confuse Americans.
Exactly.
Yeah, I can do that.
Thank you, Seek. Oh, by the way, guys, if you pull up our YouTube and maybe just mute it or something, you can see our live chat and interact.
I already got it up.
Nice.
Oh, boy.
I come prepared.
All right, I'm going to turn my volume up a little bit. Apparently, I'm a little weak.
Yeah, I got you max on my end, so not a lot I can do.
Oh, I don't actually see it on there. What's going on here?
That's okay, baby. I can crank it. Alrighty then. So thank you, Seek, and anyone else that wandered in. I guess, yeah, we could talk about Jurio as well. You know, like really start from the bottom.
I'm very excited for Jurio, actually.
Yeah?
There's some
I don't have a chart for that, but what are you excited for?
Asanoyama, Tochinoshin, Ichinojo, Chiyomaru, Enho, and Chiyonokuni are all in the same division right now. There's some match, and Ochi. There's some matches that are going. Dream scenario: Asanoyama Ochi playoff for the cup, whatever it's called. I don't speak enough Japanese to pretend.
The Jurio U show.
Long shot, but it's possible. I want to see Tochinoshin versus Enho rematch because that's maybe the most embarrassing defeat in all of sports. So if he can do something about that,
When he lifted him out.
he didn't just get embarrassed. The commentator called him a baby.
Have you seen the video of Byamba and Kelly Knighting? Kelly Knighting is probably, I mean, he's
450 pounds.
yeah, huge fucking dude. And you know, Byamba's an ex-Rikishi himself, and he just like lifts up like 450-pound Kelly Knighting and just fucking dumps his
Like,
ass.
slams him.
Brutal.
Yeah.
Someone even made a GIF where it like creates like a black hole and then the earth
and he goes
collapses
through the
into-
earth.
So if Enho could become a giant slayer, that's what I'm all about. I love giant slaying Enho.
There's a fantastic video on Don Don's Sumo that's just 10 minutes of Enho tripping up giants. It's fantastic to watch.
Love it.
Awesome.
Especially Yago. I don't know why I just have this thing about I just want Enho to beat Yago like every time. That big old Shrek looking bastard. But I just love watching Enho topple guys. He just grabs that foot and then he just knows how and he lifted Aqua by his leg. Just like grabbed his leg and lifted Aqua straight into the air. I did not know that dude was that freaking strong. It's like, damn.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really want to see him back in Makuuchi again, so I hope he just fucking kicks ass in Jurio.
Yeah, I'd be very keen. How do you guys feel about Ochi though? The up and
I
comer.
am dying about Ochi.
Yes, I am a huge fan of OTI, even though I just heard about OTI maybe 2 months ago.
Yep.
We were watching his Makushita bouts, and he just manhandles everybody. He's just so strong. And I just can't wait to see that. Just I mean, some of the other guys that like look at Takayasu. He's just like he's a beast. He's just like unhumanly strong. But I think Ochi has that as well. And I really want to see him develop it and really manhandle some of those older guys. You know, I'm just stoked about it.
Yeah, he's got that ogre strength.
Miyagi-Do guys I was talking about.
Huh?
That's one of the Miyagi-Do guys I was talking
Yeah,
about.
Ochi. Oh hell yeah.
Have you seen the video of him with Hakuho on his shoulders? You know,
Yes.
like a plank position, and he's doing squats with him?
I have not.
He's
so cool.
I'll send that your way. He's doing squats with Haku on his shoulder, and he does 12 of them, and he takes them to depth. Like that's a low
full
squat he's
squat.
pulling out,
Full send.
and that's like what 160 kilo of man. I think Hakuho
Oh, Hakuho easy 160 kilos.
probably around 140 kilos these days. He's not
Yeah,
light.
maybe not as big, but I mean he's still a huge dude too. He's like 6'4". Was that 192 centimeters? He's a huge dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a huge dude too.
Maybe.
You're huge.
I forget how big Haku was because he just looks proportional.
Yeah.
Like all of his
Great
limbs are
body.
just the perfect length for that body. There's nothing dangly or anything.
Effective for sure, because he's very proportional and like he doesn't really have like a lot of body fat. Like there's some, but you can tell it's just so much muscle under there.
He's supple.
You wouldn't guess he's a sumo wrestler. When you see him in like workout clothes or a suit or something, he just looks like a big guy.
Yeah.
Healthy
But I've
person.
seen pictures of him like next to like normal sized people, and it's like, oh, this person is, you know, a giant basically.
Even like next to somebody like Mataki Yumi. Mataki Yumi's like what 5'10", 5'11" or something like that.
Yeah.
And Hakuho towers over him. Like in my mind, I have Mataki Yumi built up to be like a titan, and to see someone just kind of just looking at the top of his
down on
head, I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
Okay, I've decided on a format here.
Okay.
Every so many minutes, I'm gonna interrupt and list a bunch of ranks going up from the bottom, and we'll inevitably get into a bunch of telling each other stories and that can go as long as it has
We
to.
are the
Works.
living embodiment of digression. So
Works for me.
I can't believe it. Every single thing that gets said, you're like, oh man, I had this cousin who once did a backflip off the Eiffel Tower. And let me tell you, that's not the story. We were in. So, all right, listen. Mitoriu, Meg 17, he took a demotion.
Yeah.
East. Surigisho, Meg 16 West. He took a demotion. Big demotion for Chiyoshoma, but he hung on at 16 East. Oho took a huge demotion as well, all the way down from 8 to 15.
What was that
And
about?
then- Yeah. He's got good things coming toward him. I think.
You still got it ways to go.
Oh.
Man.
Sometimes the sumo gods are not in your favor, and that's all I can say.
Yeah.
But he's still baby faced. He's still fresh faced. He hasn't had his cauliflower ear and cheekbones broken just yet. So he's still got a ways to go. He's got mileage.
Absolutely. So, but then after that, that's where it starts to get interesting. We have 4 dudes coming up from Juryo. 15 East is Hokuseiho, the aforementioned student of the once great Hakuho.
Mm-hmm.
And then Bushozan and Kimbozan filling up the 14 East and West. Kotoeko got a very slight promotion, and then Dai Shoho is in at 13 East.
Ooh, Daisho.
I don't know if any of those are debutantes. I don't think so. I'm pretty sure they've all been.
Well, Hokuseiho hasn't. This is like technically his.
This is his debut in Makuuchi.
Yeah, and I think is this Daishoho? I know it's Bushozan's first time. I thought as well. Am I wrong about that?
Kinbozan, Bushozan, and Hokuseiho are in Makushita for the first time.
Yeah, Kinbozan.
Oh,
for
they're all
sure.
debutantes.
Yeah, this is Kinbozan's like first like foray, and I'm super excited to see like what that dude could do in Makuuchi, and I like that he's got like his Chonmage is not long enough to get the good oicho going on just yet. He's still kind of got like the high end type mage, but he's so freaking strong, and he's just mean as hell. I'm way excited about Kinbozan.
I could have swore you were about to do toilet vocals. There.
Just like. No, super stoked to see what that guy can do. And Hokuseiho, it's like he reminds me of like a guy that I wrestle with at Dallas because he's like 6'8", something like that. And I wrestle with this dude named Sean Bird in Dallas Sumo Club. That's about the same size, and it's like. Have you seen Hinamaru Sumo? You know, the guy that has like the hair and you only see one eye. What was Odenta?
Yeah.
He's like our Odenta, and I kind of feel like Hokuseiho kind of has like that kind of vibe going on. Just big, long limbs, just hold people at arm's length. I don't know. I bet like the smaller dudes could probably do something against him though.
Is he showing up to the
Not that
Cowboy
many
Cup?
small dudes.
Huh?
What's that?
Is he showing up to the Cowboy Cup?
Oh, Sean? Oh, hell yeah. He was the first Cowboy Cup. He wasn't able to compete because he had there was like the muscle that was connected to his thumb like snapped off, and so he had to have surgery and like heal. So now he competed he went to San Antonio and he took third in the no, was it third or is it second? He took second or third in the open, so he's a bad dude.
Let him know that I'm gonna leg pick him every single time.
Do it. He's hard to uproot though. That dude's strong.
I don't think you know what I can do.
Do it.
Where do you see Salt City? We're coming for you.
Look at this.
Dude.
See that? I'm coming for all of you.
Hell yeah.
Look pretty sharp.
Dallas,
Hell yeah.
I'm coming for all of you. I've been in the gym 3 days a week, and that's excluding the job that I work. I'm coming for all of you. It's gonna be brutal.
We're ready.
I've been furiously filing taxes all off season, so you better get ready for that. Be flipping your spreadsheets out there.
I've done nothing but pick up tiles. There's and I don't know, this is an American 30-kilo boxes. I do that all day, every day. I have the grip strength. I'm ready.
That is badass.
Fucking get your
Okay,
belt
we're excited
over.
now.
Tiny little baby bird bone, so I'm glad I'm not participating in that.
Ah, you'll be alright. Speaking of top notes earlier, the Ochiai situation. What happens there?
He just has to sport it like that. I mean, like, what was it? Ichinojo and Endo both kind of got it to Sekitory status with just kind of like that little slick back.
He's not long enough to slick back though.
I know. I was about to say it's kind of weird to see him with like, his hair grows like mine used to. If I shave my head, I just kind of get this like big puffy
It just
Q-tip.
Out.
Right.
Yeah, he's
You
got
got a
that
nice-
little tip head.
You got a widow's peak. You could probably do like a tight pompadour, like a greaser.
I've always wanted to see if I could put my hair into like a suicide roll too. Like, you ever see
Yeah.
like those delinquents in like anime and stuff?
Yeah,
Like,
totally.
I want one of those.
What was the Ranger's name from?
Nani?
I always remind me of Ruby Rod from The Fifth Element.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's a deep cut.
Oh,
My favorite movie of all
Nilu
time.
Multipass.
That's one of
Listen.
my problematic faves, actually.
Guilty pleasures.
oh hell yeah. But
Yeah,
no,
okay.
Ochi,
Good
I
point,
just
Seek. You were
love-
talking about the bottom of the Banzuke earlier, Ike. Terutsuyoshi.
Where he's down in Jurio? Where is he?
MS1
No, he's
West.
down
Ooh.
That man has fallen. Yeah.
Yikes.
Lost 19 in a row, so not a lot of upward mobility in that kind of situation.
he got married and then he had to go to his reptile show. I think his head's just not in the game.
Those
right
geckos,
now.
man.
He's got lizards to check
Snake
out.
farm.
Can't miss the
I don't know,
geckos.
Oh,
I can't
all
worry
that
about leg pigs. There's geckos.
I'm officially part of Sumo Punx. We said an inside joke and laughed, but the audience didn't hear the lead up moment. That's like every one of your podcasts. You guys are like, just like the toilet monster. Ha ha ha. Sorry,
Happy
inside
days.
joke.
Ike, we made
So
it.
couple quick things. It's about 66 pounds, 30 kilos. For the the tiles he picks up. He said he didn't know the weight conversion. Ochi also got promoted so fast he doesn't have a shikona, so he doesn't have a top knot, doesn't have a superhero name, doesn't have a super suit. He's still in the Spider-Man in his sweatpants.
Yeah, he's just
hero for
Ochi.
himself, no one.
He just dropped in. He's like, okay, where I go?
They were saying
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if he just keeps Ochi. Like Ura kept his name.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Shodai, like at Endo, they all kept their own names, but I think
Well, none of their masters were Hakuho, so he's almost certainly going to get a name with Ho in it.
Right.
yeah,
Chiho.
Ochiho.
Ochi-ho.
Oh ho.
I don't think you can say that.
But whatever,
It's
I
loose.
remember Hakuho was saying something like in an interview that he just wanted to make sure he had like a very epic and very strong Shikona. So I think they're just taking their time with it,
Sure, yeah, why rush it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't like Inho, wasn't he like Yuya for a long time until he became a Sekitori? And then what was it? Oho was Naya for a while, and
Oh, yeah.
yeah. So they all had like their little like pre-Sekitori name. So I think Ochi.
Yeah, good call actually. Enho Yuya and then Enho Akira is what he goes by
Yeah.
now.
Nice.
Choco is not good for diabetics. I don't know that there's any truth to that, Captain, but
Chanko Nabe?
it is delicious.
Oh no, the chanko itself is great for diabetics. That's the rice. That's
Yeah.
the rice is the bad
Right,
one.
that's the problem.
Yeah, as long
Yeah.
as you got like what's that, protein and vegetables, to keep your blood sugar up in a healthy way and burn some good fuel, then you could stay away from all the rice. The rice is
Rishi eat like 12 bowls of rice a day.
some of them
And then
don't.
drink like a ton of beer.
Yeah, the diabetics don't though. Like Shohozan didn't,
Oh,
he
that's
didn't drink
true,
or
Yeah. Well, he had to stop. That's
Yeah.
The thing. He did, but then.
Well, yeah, it might have been part of the issue.
Yeah, there's a
No,
lot of
it-
energy in on those boys.
Banzuke. Banzuke.
Okay, so
Okay. Meg 12 is Takara Fuji. He took
Yeah.
a pretty sizable leap up from 16 for his 8 and 7, so that's nice.
yeah, I'm glad that he's doing better for a while there. For the last I'd say maybe 3 or 4 bashos, he was just kind of he wasn't doing it. I don't know.
He was stalling out on the highway, yeah.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
been floating around the top half for about let's take a look, 4 years now. So yeah.
I kept thinking they were going to send his ass back down to Jurio, but I mean, they sent Teritsuyoshi and everybody else down there, but he's still kind of just floating.
Yeah, good for him too, because he can't get much lower. At Meg 16, that was the warning light. Kageaki sitting next to him at 12 East. He took a little, interestingly enough, a small, I guess, he stayed exactly the same, Meg 12 East. So I would call that a promotion, considering he got 7-8. So he should have dropped.
He was doing like surprisingly well the last couple of tournaments. I'm like, Kageaki, really?
Yeah, he was coming out like a bat out of hell. And I was like, where is he getting all this vigor?
Right?
It's just like, and then it's just like his sumo got better, his boobs got perkier, and he was just, I don't know, he impressed the shit out of me. And then this last one, I'm like, okay, well maybe he's going back down again, but
Kageaki,
you can tell what kind of shape he's in.
More push-ups.
Based on the perkiness of his tits. It's a sliding scale. Above him, Takanosho took a dip from M9 to 11 West. And he's sitting with Azumaru, who took a big jump from M14. So they're,
Hell yeah.
I think, at a good spot.
Azumaru was mean last tournament. That was actually, I was impressed, because usually I'm kind of like, who's this Azumaru guy that's beating my guys in my fantasy sumo league? Get that guy out of here. And then I was like, he's actually doing pretty damn good.
Yeah. Stop
Yeah.
for your
Well,
fantasy
get that
sumo.
I know, right? And then I was like,
I call him the bouncer. He's got a great move where he grabs the back of the Mawashi at the side and throws you out like you've been ejected from the bar.
Zazumaru asleep in fantasy league, is he?
Yeah, well, he always looks like he's gonna win the fucking Basho. Like at free, I'm like, oh, this could be the one.
that faces he makes too. He has good battle faces. Not as good as Daisho's battle faces, but still, he's got some good ones.
Oh, Hoshoru.
Yeah, he looks like he's carved into the side of
Sure,
him.
he has great battle faces.
That dude looks like he's ready to kill every time he walks in.
He just can't see. He doesn't have his glasses on when he's actually like competing.
That's why he's so angry. He's like, where are they? Just let me at him. In front of me?
Like,
all right, I'll go forward.
All right, just forward.
He does probably use it to his advantage, though. Like, I can't see you, but I'm gonna look at you mean anyway.
Where are you?
I think everyone is trying to project like a little bit of Uncle onto him too.
Yes,
you know,
I'm
they want to see Uncle in Hoshoryu, but
They're
he just ain't that mean.
people.
He's not that mean. I mean, his sumo is pretty mean, but I mean, as a person, he's not that
I
mean.
thought it was super funny when he blocked Asashoryu on Twitter, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, him
I saw
and Daisho are just scary. They're just violent, and I don't want to go up against them.
Hard palms.
Oh, I know. It's just like I for the experience alone, I just want to try and like go against Daisho and just get the shit slapped out of me. Badass. I want to try that.
That's the one guy I wouldn't go against. Like everyone else, I do it for the experience, but him, it's like I want to keep my jaw on my head, man.
I'd fight Teru no Fuji just to get my ass kicked one time. I want to see what it feels like to get picked up like by someone like my same size.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool. But I'm going into it knowing for a fact I'm going to die.
Yeah.
I've resigned myself to this fate.
You mentioned the uncle situation. I've only been watching sumo for over a year now. I'm not a veteran like you guys, so I don't really know much about Asashoryu. So to me, like, Hoshoru is just some kid.
Asashoryu kind of like, he's got like mannerisms that are somewhere between a cowboy and a Power Ranger.
Nice.
So he's,
He pissed a lot of people off.
yeah, he's got like some swagger about it, and he does this like kind of thing before he, but whenever
His pre-bout ritual.
so he would get in there and he would push people, like they would already be out of the ring, and he'd just give one final push just to kind of
One for the
like him
road.
and Hakuho. Yeah, him and Hakuho did that shit to each other like all the time, and it was just kind of, they would just mean mug each other. Like,
Hakuho is so rude.
man, old school Hakuho was way ruder. Like, like Hakuho in the last 5 years has been like a little bit more,
He's gonna calm down a bit.
Bit more of a
like,
father.
Yeah, but let's say 2013 Hakuho. Yeah, that dude he was brutal.
I forget who he was up against, but it was some of the most Ric Flair stuff I've ever seen. Is when he fell on top of his opponent on the way out, and then put his hand on their face to push himself back up.
Yeah.
So unnecessary.
Nah.
I think I saw that. There's like a video compilation on YouTube floating around. Someone named it Mongolian Brutality, and that's on there.
Yeah. He would like
Face too at the top.
Oh
of it.
yeah.
they'd stay on top of their body after like the match was over, just like pin him down for a little while.
Yeah, I know. Also, Shuryu would do that though. Like he would just like give everybody that extra push. He just kind of make that mean face, or like whenever he would do like Supari or Harite, it was just, you could tell it's just extra freaking hard, just ringing people's bells, and they're just kind of like, and he's just looking like, yeah, I'm also Shuryu, and yeah, he was a pretty brutal fighter. But everyone always said that he was a demon in the dojo, but he was kind of like that outside of the dojo too, you know, and like sumo, you know, Rikishi are expected to kind of be like, what's that word? Like not a good member of society, like a, you know, like an example,
A
respectable,
Exemplary.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But Asa Shuryu was decidedly not that. He was very much, he was a marauder. He was like a Viking. He was, yeah, he was in for the battle, the heat of
Mongolian,
the
if you will.
battle.
Yeah, or Mongolian, as you might say.
Yeah, it's just a shame that everyone wants to project that Asa Shoryu attitude onto Haas. You know, let Haas be his own guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
he's
well, I
not
don't-
nearly-
I'm fortunate enough to not see any of that, and I'm just taking him for who he is. And from what I can see, he can be a violent dude.
Yeah,
got a lot
he
of
can
saying.
be, but he turns it off outside the dojo.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah, no friends in tournaments kind of deal.
Yeah.
Okay, folks. Meg 10 West, Meg 10 East, Nishiki Fuji, and Mio Giryu.
Oh, poor Myogiru.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because he went down from what was that? Magashira 4 all the way down
6.
to N. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel sorry for poor Myogiru. I want to see him, you know, kick a little bit more ass before he decides to retire, but he just looks tired. Poor guy.
Yeah. There's been a real changing of the guard kind of situation the last 2 years, eh? Just a lot of
Yeah.
people on their way out.
Yeah, and Nishiki Fuji, like, I've been super impressed with Nishiki Fuji here lately. Total, like, dark horse. And I want to see more out of him. I want to see more of what he's capable of. I like you said, the whole changing of the guard thing, I think he's probably going to be someone that's going to stick around in Makuuchi for a while.
He's a sleeper favorite on Fantasy Sumo as well. He'll get you some real solid points, but he won't win anything for you.
Above them, we've got Hiradumi and Aoyama at 9 East and West. They both took a little tick up from 10. Just
Man.
slowly.
Now, Hirota Umi is like, that's another guy that I'm like really like looking at, because at first he was one of the like Azumaru, he was one of those dudes that was always beating my fantasy picks. I was like, that mother. But if you look at him in the face, and like me, my brother, and my mom, he looks like our cousin. Like it looks like we're related to him. So then I started feeling kind of like this. All right, cuz. And then there's a guy on Twitter. Yeah, there's a guy on Twitter named Tim Sumo that says Hirota Umi's his son. See, Atami Fuji is my son, and Hirota Umi is his son. And so now his son is doing a little bit better than my son at the moment. But that's okay. You know, Hirota Umi.
What's the
Still
goss
because-
on Atama Fuji? Because like he came to Makuuchi, and it was like, oh, this is the guy. And then I watched him go 4-11, and he's just been floating in Juryo since.
I think it's just nerves, honestly. I think it's just kind of, it just got overwhelming and too much, and I think he's just trying to calm down, and either
Ready
that
for
or
the
maybe
big
something funky's going on at Isegahama Beya, you know.
That could be it too. Yeah.
There was a lot of, you know, because Isegahama himself got kicked off doing the Banzuke, so maybe there was like some stable drama. And
Yeah.
he was just, oh my god, I'm new to all of this. Why is everyone screaming? You know, so.
Sky is falling.
So into Makuuchi though, then when he makes it back to Makuuchi, he's gonna do a bit better because then he's not gonna be as nervous because it's not gonna be like, oh, the first time.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, shake
Yeah.
the nerves off.
Yeah, that's my son. I'm proud of him no matter what.
I think he's got a ton of potential. I mean, everyone does, right? So I wouldn't be too worried about him.
Yeah. But man, Harada Umi is really living the potential though, and I just love how brutal he is. He's just just his slaps, his belt style. Man, that belt style is like flawless. Seriously, he grabs that belt, you're fucking done.
Yeah, no, he made top division 3 Basho ago, and he's stayed afloat. Been doing positive since. And like Aoyama, I mean, what can you say? Man's been sitting in the middle of the card for about 10 years now.
Yeah.
That's his. Yeah, that he's just doing what he does. Being a bruiser.
He's
one
one of those guys that likes to push people when they're already out.
He does. I love how you can tell. I love how you can tell like how much gas he has left by how red his face gets. So the redder his face gets, the more out of gas he is.
Yeah, if his face gets really, really red, he's not winning that bout. Like,
yeah,
that's a good tell.
That's how you can tell, like, whether he's gonna get it or not. It's like, okay, it's kind of pink. He may still have.
It's like steak.
Oh, no, okay, he's turning beet red. He's gonna get his ass completely fucking flopped.
Yeah, it's wild to see belt fighters get a hold of Aoyama just because he's just kind of he's a little assets.
Yeah.
He's top heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Airbags, man.
Like,
what is a movie mulligan called? The Boobs from Bulgaria.
Yeah. Like
they act as ballast.
So many bouts where like his opponents will just like have their faces buried in his chest.
They're just trying to drive, but they can't breathe.
You can't even see their head,
You know what's funny is like on a lot of these videos, like a lot of the old streams that used to be on YouTube, or like not the streams but the highlights, the highlight compilations people would put up, but they don't really have a whole lot of the ring sounds, not a whole lot of it, but I'm just wondering, did anyone ever motorboat him just out of sheer exhaustion?
You just scrub through hours of Aoyama footage listening for like a
never intentionally, but every other day.
You gotta breathe when you're in there.
I love that there's a group of people that just call him Big Dan.
Yeah. Daniel Ivanov.
Oh, what? I got motorboated?
Somebody accidentally I don't know.
No, it was Khalil Collins. No, we were at practice, and I was fighting Khalil Collins, and then he's a had a lower tachi than me, so his face got right up in my cleavage. And then like he had to stop, so so first he was driving, he had his face and he just motorboated the shit out of me. We both fell out, and then he was like, I titty blew him. I titty farted. That's what's like, I titty farted him. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to titty fart. He's like, it's okay.
Forgive me. Oh God, I gotta come down and hang out with you guys. Get the shit kicked out of me and Keiko. For the gram.
And then, get motorboated.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Now, just above Aoyama is Ura and Ichiyamamoto holding down the 8th spot. Ichiyamamoto took a huge leap. He had 10 and 5 down at 14.
Is this a career high for him? For Ichiyamamoto?
I think so. What does that symbol mean? Yeah, new career high rank. Yeah,
for him.
Way to go, Abi Light, man. See, Diet Abi, I think, could fucking... If he could nail his Supari style down, and one of the mistakes that I see Abi make a lot is if he can't get his forward momentum, then he tries that pull down, much to his detriment. If Ichiyamamoto can avoid that, I think he would, could keep moving on up.
Yeah, you gotta have more than just 2 moves.
But I'm a huge Abi stan. I love Abi's style, and I love that he's kind of a dick. He's kind of a bad boy. Yeah. That adds to his charm.
Abi's a demon.
Rumor has it that he doesn't even want to do sumo, really, never did, but his like uncle or a friend of his dad's or something offered him like the equivalent of $1,000 every time he goes out and does those perfect Shiko stretches that he does with the foot all the way up, and he was like, hell yeah.
He got in trouble for breaking the COVID protocols. He actually did ask if he could just retire, and they straight up told him no.
I don't even want to be here.
Yeah.
But it seems like he's taking it more seriously now.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, look at what he did in was that November?
Yeah.
The November Basho. Yeah, and like that came out of kind of nowhere. Like, I don't think anybody was expecting Abi to fucking take that huge show. You know, everybody
Yeah.
wanted to see Takayasu win, but
Of course.
maybe this year will be
And-
Takayasu year.
And while we're talking about
believe-
Ichi Yamamoto, very impressive 13-2 in Juryo, sending him straight to Makauchi. And then since then, he hasn't gone. Only made his career high at M8 by going 10-5 last Basho. He's just kind of very comfortably stayed afloat with 8-7, 7-8s, which, like, anything more than 5 wins in top division is impressive. There's some absolute killers there. So to be able to stay afloat like that isn't a sign of a bad wrestler at all.
I think the level of skill in sumo is like a parabola. Like the closer you get to the top, it doesn't just increase, algebraically. It increases exponentially. Each rank going up closer and closer to Yokozuna is like multiplied the difficulty and the level of skill as compared to the guys in like Juryo and lower. So you see these guys rocket through the lower divisions and then stall out halfway through Makauchi. And I think that's natural. You know, these are the best 20 guys in the world at this sport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
And
is
being
crazy.
like, well,
Go.
too.
It is
Yeah,
crazy
that's
just how, like, the skill gap of top division is. Because, like, in M16 up against Terran of Fuji, they're in the same bracket. But,
Yeah.
like, it's not happening.
Yeah.
And then it's
Goose,
like...
I really like the pictures you've got going.
Thank you.
I'm just checking it out now. We got Sleepy Chiyomaru.
Oh.
Chiyomaru using his own cheek as a pillow is one of my favorite photos.
Just fold it up. Get comfy.
Yeah. I'm very jealous of his ass. Like, he seriously has one of, like, the most muscular asses
Yeah,
in
he's like a
sumo.
horse.
I would like to
ass.
talk about Takara Fuji's bottom.
Comparable.
Best legs in sumo. Those quads, those thighs. Yeah, Takara Fuji's got the
He's
legs
got
on
pigs for legs. There's just so much
We-
meat there.
Should do a separate video where we do like a booty breakdown.
He's got pigs for legs.
That was one of the first polls that we did for our podcast for like Valentine's Day. I think it was like our 3rd fucking episode. We were
Yeah.
like, hey, who's the best ass in pro sumo? And everybody was like a Tochinoshin stand back then, so of course he won.
Yeah, it's like Tochi's butt. I mean, he's got like, you've seen Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. You remember the station? You know, station.
Yeah.
It's like, and he's got a totally bodacious Martian butt. It's like, that's kind of Tochi's got a station butt. But it's not a bad thing. I mean, whatever floats your boat. But
Yeah,
that's not who I would have thought.
it's kind of nice though.
He looks like my a drunk uncle, you know. It's like, hey, Uncle Toch is coming over. All right, better lock the liquor
He
cabinet.
does. He's like that uncle that like every time you see him, he's got a beer in his hand and he works as like a mechanic or something. You know, always covered in like grease or some shit. Like,
And
he's just like that kind of dude.
And he's like picking the cocktail weenies out of the crock pot with his dirty hands. You know, that's Uncle Toch. That's what he does.
I don't ride a jackhammer 12 hours a day to be told I can't fish weenies out the pot with my fingers. Yeah, he looks Italian. He looks like he should have like a Adidas tracksuit on.
Yeah, he looks like a mob boss that just got into sumo for some reason and is just too deep in his cover.
He lost a bet. That's a movie.
Seriously, see him in an Adidas tracksuit with like some gold chains on his patch, his hairy patch.
Yeah.
Oh, hi, Siggy. Sorry, we're being nice.
Hey, I love Tochi. Tochi's like, seriously, since I first got into sumo, he was like one of my, because he was at Ozeki, you know, whenever we first got into sumo, him and Takayasu. And so we were like always going for Uncle Tochi. And he's Uncle Tochi. He's family.
You know what? He's in the chat right now. I have to say something. So for Dallas Sumo Club, they used to do like question and answer videos and stuff. And I got picked one time for some reason to answer the question, who do you think is going to retire next, Tochinoshin or Kaisei? And like I was just tired and I had a headache and I couldn't even think straight at the time, and I was like, I don't know, probably Toach. He looks like he's just over it all the time or whatever the fuck I said.
He was injured.
But and then Kaisei was the one that ended up. I don't even think Kaisei had been dropped down to Juryo by that point, but he's the one that ended up retiring first. So, Siggy, I am apologizing directly to you for saying that Tochinoshin
Look washed up.
See, I've always been a Tochi stan. I don't know why. I just like the guy. It's like, yeah, he's. I love that he just picked.
I'm not saying I don't like him. I'm just saying.
No.
He just thought he'd be the next to retire. No, seriously, on my list of favorites, he's definitely up there. He's definitely high on my list.
No, I
I
understand
think
why so many people flock to Tochi to begin with, is because, like, when you're first getting into sumo, you don't really recognize everyone. Everyone has the same hair color and hairstyle, the roundness of their face. It's
Yeah, I
kind of hard
lack
to
the
tell
visual
people apart.
discrimination.
And in the middle of that, there's this just giant berserker white man just lifting people up and crushing them. And it's like, that's my guy. Him and me, we're going to the mountain together.
With Takayasu, you know, there's like
Yeah.
very rarely a Rikishi that's like that hairy, just that bare like.
Yeah.
The
Big
body hair
meatball.
makes him stand out.
And he's
Hey,
tan,
Siggy, good
yeah.
to see you again.
I miss his shrug though, you know, whatever he was like. Like I love that. It's just like, wait, I just called it his thing. It's like, why doesn't he do his thing anymore?
Toshi's
Yeah,
got
I
the
miss
best
it.
soul throw in the game too. Like the determination in his face when he just puts his soul into flicking it. He has to watch the whole thing, make sure it landed right. It's beautiful.
Like
Yeah.
shooting stars.
Yeah. Unlike Ura, who will just throw like 2 little nuggets, like that's it.
Ura, I
It'd be so-
appreciate deeply. He's trying to keep the demons in the ring. He needs them to win.
Now, Takayasu and Hokuto Fuji are holding down M7. Takayasu plummeted down from Sekiwake, hot on the heels of his 1 and 5 and 9. And Hokuto Fuji took a very small dip from 6 down to 7.
Yeah, Takayasu, like, he pulled out last tournament, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think some of the injury from November. I hate to say it, but I think it might be a little bit of pride too. You know, I think maybe pulled out for injury and pulled out because he just like is like, no, I'm not doing this. I'm not going down this tournament. Screw this. I'm out. But I can't say I blame him. I really hope that he has enough rest. I hope that his muscles are just gearing up to smash into folks. I really want to see him succeed. I want to see him take a U show at least, you know, once this year. Yeah. And then that way, you know, Jake from Grand Sumo Breakdown can die happy. And then that'd be cool. You know, I'm down with that. I want it. It was so freaking sad. Remember when Wakataka Kage kicked the shit out of him? And I was so sad for him. He just looked so just hurt and downtrodden. It was like, oh.
Oh, that playoff is one of my favorite matches of all time.
It was
Watching-
a damn good historical match.
Watching an Italian gorilla fly at him with his soul and connecting that elbow to the chin, and Water Karate just kind of takes it and still stands. It's like one of the toughest things I've ever seen.
And then that, not only does he take it, but he kind of like balances on the Tawara whenever he does that arm throw.
Yeah,
You
no,
know,
watching that knee buckle when he takes it is scary. I remember it very clearly. But he still stands. Now, Takayasu at M7 is very exciting to me. Because Abi took a basho off, comes back at M9, wins. Takayasu has taken most of a basho off, is sitting at M7. He's got his former Ozeki, got some very easy matches ahead of him.
Totally.
Easy 10 wins minimum for Takayasu this basho. And
Man, I'm
if
hoping.
no Yokozuna in sight, because Terunofuji said he's not here, so like the absolute gatekeeper of success is gone. The doors are open for him to win.
Some people were complaining that whenever there's no, there's only one Ozeki, no Yokozuna, that there's nobody to spank everybody, kind of keep them in line. It's like a free, it's a free for all. Yeah, I love that. I love that.
Yeah,
The
that's
cat's away.
Michael Murray was talking about that, and like it looks like the Sanyaku are underperforming because no one's really getting 10 wins consistently. But what's happening is everyone is so hungry for the first place that the amount of elite people going up against each other in the top means they're gonna pick up 5 losses because they're going up against these absolute top dudes.
Yeah.
So like it is so competitive right now for
They're all
first
neck
place
and neck,
that
yeah.
it looks like they're doing worse than they actually are when really they're losing to the best there is right now.
Yeah, they had to open up the extra Sanyaku spots just because it's just so congested up there with just so much talent.
Yeah.
It's so constipated up there.
No, that's a weird looking Banzuke too. 3 Sekiwake, 4 Komusubi, and 1 M17. Very, very lopsided.
Oh, there is a
I mean,
17.
it evens out in the end, you know, because you got the Yokozunas, like what, Yokozuna East, and then down at the bottom, is it like Maegashira 17 West? Is
M17 East and Yokozuna East.
Okay.
It's an East
Yeah,
heavy
they-
Banzuke.
They balance it out somehow. I don't know.
Well, Takakeisha is Ozeki West, so that balances out. And then if we take Mitoryu and just throw him in Sekiwake 1 West, that balances out. Easy money.
I think it's oh god. Oh wait, okay. So who's on 6?
6 is Endo and Sadanumi. Endo jumped up, Sadanumi fell down a little bit.
Numi.
Yeah, Radina Umi. He was doing surprisingly well lately. I was like, where the hell is this coming from? You know, he's one of the older guys, and it's just like, is he trying to get one last hurrah? Or is he just kind of gearing up to, you know, kick some ass? It's like, damn. Like,
I've been loving it. I'm hoping
I-
he gets into the Sanyaku before he retires.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were. I don't know. We have a Google Chromecast, you know, and like it has like the little gallery, like it shows the pictures whenever our TV's not playing anything. And we made this dumb picture of Sadana Umi with like the little flipped up hat and the bandana, like suicidal tendency style, you know. It says like Radina Umi on it, and it's him kind of jumping in the air.
I took that and I put him on a skateboard, and I'm still working on it, but I'm gonna put that on our Instagram later.
That's
I
amazing.
like Sadana Umi.
Yeah, when I came into the sport, he looked like Return of the Mummy. Like he had bandages that were just like loosely tied in bows all over his body. I was like, what the fuck? He's like he broke out of a hospital. Like they're looking for him.
Like it never seems like he's one of the middling guys, you know, and he has been for quite some time. But for some reason, I don't know. We're both fans of Sadanumi. We just kind of latched onto this guy.
Yeah, I just want to see him succeed. I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
He's our
Ever
home.
since he started making his comeback, I've been like, all right, okay, it's about damn time.
It's a fun ride, damn it.
Yeah,
And then
So-
who'd you say was it? Endo was.
Endo, yeah.
Man, I am so sick of looking at his face.
Did he
Go
break
on,
your heart?
Endo.
Who'd he beat?
What?
Did you see those Endo butt pillows?
No.
Okay.
Hello?
Well, it's actually a double-sided pillow. It's just like every picture that you see those Japanese what do they call them, shoujo, like sumo shoujo, I don't know, but those women sumo fans that live in Japan that are like just absolutely gaga for sumo.
Oh, Shoujo's,
But
yeah.
Yeah, I always see pictures of them holding the Endo pillow like with just the butt side out, and they're just cuddling on Endo's butt.
Yeah.
And for a while we thought it was just a butt pillow. We had no idea it was double-sided and he was on the front. Like, how did he get butt pillows made? I want a butt pillow.
Right?
That's
Yeah,
how you know
no.
you made it.
I know. But they have I've been trying to see if I could find, like, does Japan have eBay, or do they have like Yahoo auctions or something? Because if I could find that butt pillow, I don't care how many
Yeah.
thousands of yen.
You know what I am waiting for is the Kiribayama waifu pillow.
Oh my God.
That's
Oh,
what
where
I-
he's like full length,
Yes.
body
Yeah.
pillow.
I have a feeling that's going to be between us on the bed now. There's this full size pyramid. We're going to have to fight over the Kiribayama body pillow.
Yeah, but just because you want to half of it, I assume. Like you can't
Now it's
hog.
fight over who gets what half.
Yeah, we're gonna rock paper scissors every night about rock paper scissors. Oh, well,
You could
okay.
lay them lengthwise.
See you this later.
I mean, you could lay them perpendicular, so you can both. Well, whatever. We'll get into the logistics of the
Yeah.
butt pillow after in the private chat.
Very serious conversation right now.
Well, that's it. I don't want to gloss over it. We need to take it, seriously.
You and I watch
So,
sumo for
yeah.
different reasons.
Meg 5 is populated by Koto Shoho and Midori Fuji.
Midori Fuji,
The
another one of my
Pitbull.
favorites. Yes. Another short king.
The Katsukashi machine.
Yeah.
I love his style. To me, he fights in a much more aggressive way than like a smaller guy like Inho. Like Inho's like stays low and he's always going for those legs, that leg pick. But
He's
like
very squirrely, but Midori Fuji is more direct.
yeah, he just latches on and he doesn't let go. He's just like I love it.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Koto Shoho though, like didn't he get the Jun show? Like last tournament?
Let's see. Koto
My
Shoho.
caffeine is starting to
Oh,
wear off.
Kanto Show. Yeah, he got a 11-4.
Yeah, but he got second place, so he was kicking ass. It's like, where the hell did this come from, Koto Shoho? What the hell are you doing?
He's waking
So,
up.
Hell yeah. And I'm really wanting to see some of these guys over the past couple of years just kind of seem like they were just, rank and filers, just chilling.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, but some of them are really getting a fire lit under their butt cheeks, and I'm here for it.
I think part of that too is the fact that Teruno Fuji hasn't been around for the last several Bashos, and then also just all the wacky shit going on in
Yeah.
the higher ranks. There's been a lot of shakeups lately,
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
like I
perfect
was
time
saying.
to make a name.
The door's
Yeah.
open.
right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Teruno Fuji's not there. No, Midori Fuji is my dad's favorite sumo wrestler, who
really?
got into sumo as of last Basho. And by saying that, I mean he went to see it live in the 80s and has always known about it, but hasn't gotten into it properly until he found out that I stream sumo. So that's been a fun journey. About 4 weeks before the Banzuke came out, he sent me a text saying, "That's unfair that Midori Fuji got put on M3. He did a better performance than that." And I had to explain to him that the Banzuke hasn't been posted yet. I have no idea
That
where
was
you got
last
this
time.
information from. Just gonna have to be patient.
He called him.
Yeah, he's like, Midori Fuji, what are you doing? Where are you on that Banzuke?
Yeah.
I need to place some bets. Meg 4 is Onosho and Meisei. Couple of bruisers.
Oh, God.
yeah.
Oh no.
Meisei, one of my favorite just battering rams. Seriously, he's just... I like watching that guy work. Same with Onosho. Yeah, Onosho's like a bull. Just...
Totally.
Oh man, I don't know. Like the way his style of sumo is, he just reminds me of just like a giant bison just stampeding into freaking everything. I love it. I mean, he's easy to beat that way, for some Rikishi, but I just love his forward momentum. It's great.
Well, I think Onosho and Meisei are both that way, where if they get on rails, they just start heading one direction, and if you're in the way, it's over. But if you get out of the way, it's also over pretty quick.
The murder train, choo choo.
Meg 3, here's where we start getting juicy. Mitakiyumi and Nishikigi.
Mitakiyumi and Nishikigi. Mitakiyumi, where to start with this guy?
Saddest train. Choo choo.
I really wanted to see him kick ass as an Ozeki, but I think, was he injured? Was that his deal? Is that why he was just kind of out of juice?
I don't think it's been.
Guys are injured all the time.
Yeah, it's Rikishi, so we can assume, but I didn't see any official release about it. I think they try to keep that under wraps.
Yeah, they don't want the competition to find out. It's like, oh yeah, his knee's fucked up. Goes for his knee, but I was disappointed in his performance. But then again, I understand. When you do sumo too, how brutal it and how hard it is on your body. So.
Yeah, it's really easy to judge these Rikishi when you've never experienced what they go through.
Yeah, and part of me is like I sympathize, I really do, and the other part of me is like, get it together, damn it.
Yeah, be a man.
Well,
Rub
that's
some
kind of
dirt
the
on
whole
it.
point of it, isn't it? Like, you're supposed to, despite everything,
Yeah.
I
Fighting
speak
fear.
English.
Gun
Despite
by-
everything, you meant to persevere, so it is heartbreaking to see one guy falling apart when everyone else isn't,
Yeah.
It, I don't know how to feel about Mitakiyumi, because, the first bar show I properly sat through the whole thing was when he went 13-2, and made Ozeki and had to beat Teruno Fuji in order to do it and make his Ozeki promotion, and it was just like absolute fantasy stories like, this is the dude. And then since then just, the sadness train goes on.
Yeah, well, he's been very good for a long time. It's just, I think, you know, what do you do when you get to Ozeki? Like,
And everybody was saying, like, you know, Mitakeumi is going to be the next great Ozeki, but like, I was the one that was saying from the beginning, I don't see it. I don't see that happening. I think I even said that on one of our episodes. Like, you can go back and check. I said that shit.
yeah.
I hope he does get back to Ozeki. I wish him well. I mean,
I think he's great as a Sekiwake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he belongs there.
It like, if you got that veteran's perspective of him, I can understand it, but like, it was like the first time I really watched it, and I got this absolute Cinderella story, and I was banging his drum, just doing laps around the building, screaming Mitakeumi.
I think we saw one of his first. Did we see him win a U show, or did he win a U show to get? I can't remember. It was a long time ago. But
I think we started watching in like 2019.
It was 2018.
2018, 2019, yeah.
And then oh god, okay. Oh, who else was 3 other than Mitakeumi?
Nishikigi.
Ah, the well-dressed tree. Yeah. Okay, I swear Nishikigi's my doppelganger. So like, if I take my glasses off and make this face, hold on. Okay, I'm convinced I look like Nishikigi in the face. Sabrina says she doesn't see it, but like, seriously, I look at him, I feel like I'm looking in the mirror. Thank you.
But he also wears glasses.
Close your eyes.
See, if I take the glasses off, I feel more Nishikigi-ish. Like,
yeah, he's like blind. He said he can't. He can barely even see his opponent in front of him.
He just fights off the will of his ancestors. They guide him.
Basically, it's I feel it because I see everything as like a blurry expressionist painting. Like, that's just what my world is. And so I'm like, okay, attack the blob in front of you. So that's
Get contact lenses.
I don't know.
Tune into Psychic Connection to guess their intent and pivot off that.
Like those daredevil powers.
I know, right?
Fight by sense of smell.
Tachi eye. Oh my god.
3 feet in front of me.
I wish the best of Mitakeumi, though.
Me too.
Yeah,
It's
Mitakeumi's
sad
in a
to
good
see him
spot.
crumble, but
Meg 3 is not too bad. He should be able to clean up pretty good. And then above him, M2 is just the scumbag junction. We got Abi and Ryuden.
Booden.
I don't know what you're
Yeah.
talking about.
When I heard you say Buden on your podcast, I was like, yeah! Fuck yeah, they get it.
Ryuden is a guy who I don't really know about. I haven't paid attention to him, and he's just kind of snaked his way up to M2. And I feel like I should be able to remember one of his matches, but I can't.
It's very vanilla.
Before he got, very vanilla. Before he got demoted for breaking COVID protocol, he was, pretty standard textbook style of sumo. And he was doing all right. Wasn't he, like, consistently either in mid-Maigashira or up in the Joy, somewhere around there?
Yeah.
But all of these guys, when they get demoted, they get punished, they come back with a vengeance. Like, seriously, almost every single one of them that had either been demoted, or like Teruno Fuji, he had surgery and then, came back and became Yokozuna. Abi, got demoted, and he came back, and he's like more mature. His style of sumo is a lot more defined, and he's more aggressive.
Better balance, yeah.
Well, they disciplined him.
Yeah,
the whole thing was.
He doesn't be as attitude-y, I guess, like he used to be. And then with Ryuden, though, I mean, I've never really been a Ryuden fan. I don't hate him as much as I hate Chiyashoma.
I liked him in the beginning because I liked his little touchy eye twerk.
Yeah, he would do this thing when he was down, trying to get set for the Tachi. He'd start like pumping his booty a little bit. He would
throw it back.
It was funny. Murray, the announcer Murray, the commentator.
Yeah, that's my dad.
It was like, just like pumping. But he was, I don't know, he was just kind of working it, and then his Tachi would hit, it would connect pretty good, and it's just like, well, maybe there's something to the Tachi twerk. But and after he got demoted, and what made it really bad for me personally was, you know, hearing that. First, it was like, oh, he was going to meet some woman that was not his wife, and it's just like, well, that's kind of greasy. But then, what made it worse is seeing that Sumo-Do documentary that came out, where it like focuses on Ryuden and like his wife and his wedding and like his goofy, like, kind of laugh. He laughs like Mozart did in Amadeus. Like seriously, that's what his laugh is like. But seeing that side of him and then like hearing that, it just kind of. It soured the milk. It curdled the milk for me for Ryuden. And so, you know, if it really comes down to it, you know, I don't have anything personal against the guy. I just like talking shit.
Maybe we've had agreement.
Maybe.
You know,
I was about to say maybe
really different.
Maybe like, you know, he was seeing this woman that was not his wife while his wife was hiding, like, you know, in the next hotel room with the camera, like,
That's what they're into, yeah.
Yeah, so
no,
that is what
it was illicit. And he wasn't just meeting a lady who wasn't his wife. He was meeting her to pick her up, to pressure her into terminating a pregnancy.
Ooh.
That was a big part of it.
Why? No.
I didn't know.
I didn't know.
Yeah, that's the key. So they're like, that's your business. Whatever you're going to do, but don't bring it around the dojo. We don't want the bad
I have
breath.
decided that I am a Ryuden fan. I will be banging his drum.
He also, back in the day, he fought against Hokuto Fuji, and he like forearm shivered him in the temple at the Tachi-ai, and knocked him out cold. And you can see Hokuto Fuji doesn't even know where he is. They like stand him back up, and it was a mata, so they had to go again, and they made him do it. And Hokuto Fuji like clearly like his legs are like jelly. He's like eyes are rolling around in his head, and they made him do it like 2 or 3 more times, and Ryuden just keeps fucking elbowing him in the head and like knocking him over and stuff. And it's like, stop.
God damn.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
That's hardcore because like Hokuto Fuji's a damn billy goat. Like he's got a head made like a coconut. That's mean.
Yeah.
Booty.
Yeah, he's got that Abdullah forehead as well. It's hard to break that skill.
He never really came back from that, like equilibrium wise. You can see he's always winding up slipping on his belly and stuff, and I mostly attribute it to that one really bad like continuous series of concussions Ryuden gave him. And I took that personal.
Yeah.
You mentioned something I found incredibly interesting in sumo, in like taking time off and then just going on a warpath through the ranks. Is like the pride of sumo is that endurance aspect, right? It's a 15-day tournament. It's 6 a year. It's like Mitaka Yumi, you see him falling apart and it hurts because he's supposed to be better than that. But almost every time someone takes time off, they win. Abi misses a basho, he comes back and wins. Asanayama gets a whole year off when he gets banned from the planet. Has lost 3 matches in his last 4 basho. He's on an absolute tear. Ichinojo takes 1 basho off, wins it. Tamawashi takes 2 days off in his entire career, comes back and wins it. There's a lot to be said about time off in sumo and how beneficial it can be.
Rest. Just let those boys rest.
Yeah.
So important for the human body in general. And they didn't used to have 6 bashos a year. It used to be like...
It was like 4?
It was like 4, 1 per season. And then before that, I think it was just 2.
Yeah. In our Discord, we were talking about... Joint Salt City Sumo Discord, we were talking about Raiden, like the old legend. And I was looking at his legacy. It's like, oh, this dude was the best. And it's like, okay, the first tournament that year, he won 5 matches. And then the second tournament, he won 7. And that was his year.
So much different. And even like, even the Mawashi was like so much different back then. And like just the way that everything was set up. And of course, they used to be outdoors. There used to be like an actual... what do you call the thing that hangs above the dojo?
Oh god, I can't remember the Japanese word for it, but like the little roof. Yeah.
And then everybody wants to talk about like, oh, preserving the traditions of sumo. It's like, it's been changing consistently for years, you know?
Yeah.
But,
Hundreds of years. It's been growing and evolving.
I think it was TV is what made them decide to move to 6 tournaments. Was like, you know, the demand for, you know, it's
more
our
sumo.
It's our bread and circus, damn it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's no, because like as far as the science is concerned, like sumo is absolutely the wrong way to go about preservation of body and injury. So like it's not like it's a debate, but and like when you see like last year specifically, 4 people took time off and then won. It it's kind of hard to ignore that, you know. Like maybe 5, maybe 4 a year would be the better option for these guys.
Well,
So-
it's interesting to compare time off leading to a good result to winning a tournament and then coming back and doing awful.
That
Yeah.
happens a lot.
It's interesting that there's both sides.
That could be a different thing, like gold medal curse, I think it's called, where it's like a lot of people when they get their 1 gold medal, they go, "I did it. I can rest now. Everything's sweet." And it takes like absolute psychopaths like Hakuho to go, "All right, that was part 1. You know, the absolute top of the mountain. Now I can look at the other mountain. Couldn't see it from before."
I want to go over there now.
You know?
Shit.
So that could be a whole different psychological thing, as well as being the physical decay.
After Abi won his U show, you know, a lot of like more rank and file Rikishi ended up winning like each consecutive Basho last year. But I looked at the numbers a while ago. I can't remember the exact numbers now, but I remember he was the only one who actually had not only a Kachikoshi but double-digit wins on his Basho after his Yusho win.
Oh.
Very
All the
impressive.
other ones were Makekoshi, if I'm remembering correctly, and they certainly weren't double-digit wins.
That
He
sounds
was
right.
the only one.
Damn.
Yeah,
He's the
Just-
bad boy.
I like him.
And they're just doing Teppo till his hands bled for, months, I'm sure. You're going to go out there and you're going to be respectful.
You should see her whenever he like Abi Notawa someone at the Tacha. She's like, "Ooh, choke me, daddy." All of
Ooh, harder.
Looking at these numbers now, it is so funny. Like just seeing 12 years of consistent appearance by Tamawashi. Misses
Yeah,
day
every-
14 and 15, comes back for a 13 too. Just I'm here,
Yeah,
baby.
and
Motivated.
he didn't even miss those by his own choosing, right?
No,
No,
the government told him to stay home.
Yeah, it's because his stable had COVID, so the whole stable had to. Man, that sucks. I feel sorry for him because he had perfect attendance. He had the perfect attendance ribbon, at school.
According to the Sumo Council, it's he still has the highest, and they're counting it because it was their decision for him to miss it, not his decision. Where it's
Gotta
like, I'm
drop
injured,
out.
I can't be here. It was we told you to go away. So it'd be like if they canceled a bar show. You didn't miss it; it wasn't there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's the he's the Iron Man. Damn it.
He is.
Totally.
He has the
Agreed.
highest record even before that little blip.
Believe he's the Jewel Eagle.
What?
The Jewel Eagle. Tamawashi.
Yeah.
That's what that means.
Oh,
Or
is that...
the sometimes I translate it Bedazzle Raptor.
I love that. Oh my god.
Technically correct.
The bedazzle.
Rhinestone Raptor.
The
Which,
bedazzle.
you know,
Iteration going.
him and Shodai are up there at M1. They're in the hot seat.
Oh, Shodai.
Ah.
Her goth boyfriend.
I
Yes, this is my goth boyfriend.
take it easy?
Thank God, that's great.
Panic.
We're having too much fun. We need Neil in here.
Brutal.
Cut it out.
Yes, Shodai, my goth boyfriend, who has fallen from grace and is now sitting at Maegashira 1 West.
They like I thought it was something mental, with Shodai, like and I'm pretty sure like a good chunk of it is. I mean, he's a very brooding, very dour, kind of dude. Anytime that he has interviews with the media, because they're all coached on how to speak to the media. They're like, "Oh, I'm just gonna get in there and I'm gonna show them
Yeah.
my sumo way."
And then Shodai is always like, I suck.
He's like, "I
Because I'll try not to suck anymore.
He's very Eeyore-ish, in that.
I didn't even want to fight. Anyway, I wanted to be a farmer.
He pretty much does. He just wants to play with his
He
leeks
wants
and
to, grow his... He's the one that has the cantaloupe farm, isn't he?
yeah.
Yeah, he just wants to grow his cantaloupes. I love cantaloupe, by the way. I made cantaloupe jam for the uh, Grand Sumo Breakdown guys a while ago.
Get out.
Fantastic.
Picture of Shodai on the label.
Amazing. Yeah,
But-
he did so well in college that they offered him a chance to skip the lower ranks and jump right into like 3rd division, and he turned it down to finish his agricultural degree, and then had to start from the bottom.
Boy loves farming.
Shodai, the man with an exit plan.
Yeah.
No.
What I found out is like he like did something to like his right big toe, and
I knew it.
He's like, oh, it's just mental, like he's, stuck in his head, or he doesn't actually like want to try or whatever. But no, he's just got a really fucked up toe.
And I don't know if you know about the body mechanics of a tachiai. You really need your big toes to launch yourself to get that like
Yeah.
explosive power. And even Hakuho, that whenever the last time Hakuho fought Shodai, that's the reason he backed so far up from the Shakira-Sid, is because he was like,
Yeah,
I'm not
Fascia.
not fucking with that tachiai. And poor Shodai just kind of he was just a little floppy, at that time anyway.
Yeah.
But-
Sumo Stew made an excellent point that I looked into. That like maybe he never should have been an Ozeki. Like maybe he's just back to where he should have been, because
Said
he
that.
makes top division in 2016, and up until he gets promoted, he goes 10 plus wins 1, 2, 3 times in 4 years. And then somewhere around 2019, 2020, he gets this really hot streak of 11-4, 13-2, 11-4, 13-2. And that's when he makes Ozeki. And since then, he has gone in 3 years, gone 10 plus wins twice. So
Yeah, and losing Hakuho and Kakuryu was a big thing for him.
yeah.
He used to train with them in the off season. They would pick him out on purpose because he's got that perfect figure. He's like a stereotype of a sumo wrestler's body, and so they loved having that big guy to throw around. And without that, I don't know. I think he's just on his own.
He was
Yeah.
still like longer than Mitaki.
True. He
And
did.
for me, I feel like everyone treats him like. Remember whenever Goedo was an Ozeki for a good long while, and Goedo had like relatively good, record for a good chunk of his Ozeki career. But then he got injured, and he kind of started to suck.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of what happened. Yeah,
It happened to Tochinoshin.
yeah. But the thing is, everyone used Goedo as like a punching bag, and he was like, the butt of jokes. And I just feel like, after Goedo retired.
The old ladies loved him though.
Oh yeah, they just all moved to Shodai. It's like, oh well, we'll quit picking on Goedo. Let's move to Shodai. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Shodai
Shodai,
was accused of abusing the Ozeki rank, though, and like just kind of taking it easy and then really trying next time to go positive, then taking it easy again.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you really
he milked
call
it.
that abuse? Is that abuse or is that gaming?
Yeah, he's just he's got his own system.
Fair
you know?
point.
But it's kind of
String.
it boils down to like the Hinka. People are like, oh well, if people don't want the Hinka, why don't they just make it an illegal move? And it's like, oh well,
But they're not.
yeah. And that's the same with Shodai, how he exploited the Ozeki thing. It's like, oh
They
well,
didn't tell him he couldn't.
it's like expected not to, and that's kind of like the expectation there. But there's what people say and what people do, and that's what he did. So
Yeah, and he took a 6-9 loss and a demotion, and he's in the mortar hole. He's gonna get the living shit kicked out of him this tournament. I
Yeah.
think we'll see what happens.
I was about
Maybe
to say,
he's
I
just
think
back where he
he's-
should be.
exactly. I was about to say he doesn't have that pressure anymore. He doesn't really have to worry about like that kind of expectation. He could just kind of relax and just, tachi the shit out of folks.
He also said he's going to be on a shit ton of painkillers for this boss show.
He did.
So
His interviews are gonna be
Good
great.
idea.
Steroids and painkillers, one eye going this way, one eye going that way. It's like, I'm gonna do my brand of sumo.
I like grapes. I like turtles. So, moving up on into the Sanyaku,
Here
we have
go.
4 Komusubis. We got Tobizaru, Daisho, Koto no Waka, and Wakamoto Haru.
4 Komusubis, really? 4 Komusubis.
That's a meat grinder. That's what they do with the Komosubis is they make them fight like the hardest, heaviest dudes first. And so I'm curious how they're going to do that with 4 Komasubis. What kind of meat grinder are they going to put these boys through?
Yeah.
I mean, who they got?
Like,
They got
see-
3 Sakawaki. Okay, Waka Takakage, Hoshoryu, and Kiribayama. That's good. That's definitely going to be a
But
kind of a struggle. And
So-
then Takakeisho.
yeah. So, but that's who they all have to fight first. Each other and the upper Sanyaku first. But man, what I'm like kind of like excited to see as far as like, Komasubi Bash 2023, I'm excited about Dimples. I want to see Dimples do well. Fucking Wakamoto Haru.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, wait, I don't recognize that nickname.
Wakamoto Haru. He's Dimples.
You do have dimples.
Yeah, I
he
see
does.
it now.
But
No, I like Wakamoto Haru.
yeah, I'm excited to see what he does because he's kind of like all of all the 3 Waka brothers. It's like they're all living in Waka Takakage's shadow, and so if Wakamoto Haru could make it out on his
He's
own,
really making a name for himself.
he is. And then now I hope Waka Takamoto could do the same thing, make a name
Yeah.
for himself.
Never gonna happen.
Good. Yeah, he's kind of just chilling down there. He's just bumming it. He's like, I don't want the pressure. It's like, whatever. I'll keep making the chanko. I'll keep sweeping the laundry room. Whatever. I'm just chilling.
My
So,
understanding
hanging
that
out
he's
with the
the
boys.
eldest brother.
Yeah, he is. He's the oldest. And isn't Wakataka Kage the youngest?
Yeah. Well, what?
He's
So what
baby.
happened was, Waka Takamoto was already in their Baya studying sumo, and there was like a nuclear meltdown or a natural disaster
Yeah,
or
so it's
something.
Fukushima. Yeah.
Yeah, so they had to run, and then the stable let Wakamoto Haru and Wakataka Kage, who were like in high school, just like stay with them for a while, and
That's really
think
cool.
within like a month, Wakamoto Haru joined the Baya like full time, and then Wakataka Kage finished school and then also joined. So
Nice.
he's been like thoroughly steeped in it since before he even really had a personal vested interest, and I think that's why he does so well. Whereas the eldest brother is like any eldest sibling; they're like the test kid. You make all the mistakes with them.
Oh, we're both eldest.
eldest.
So you get it.
know,
Yeah, I'm
we're the
excited.
kid-
There's no game plan for the first kid.
No, I ate a lot of little Debbie cakes for breakfast when I was a kid.
Twinkies for me.
Haru and who else was the other Komusubi? I don't have the Banzuke in front of me.
Oh, it's let's see, Wakamoto Haru,
Nishikigi,
Koto no
Saturday
Waka,
Midoriya.
yeah, Daisho, Tobizaru,
Yeah.
and
Oh.
Aminishiki.
Amanishi. It's Toby Zaru, that freaking dolphin.
Love to see him.
He shaves all of his body hair. He's a dolphin. But I really love his wacky ass style. I'm glad his wacky style has been honed and it's taking him places.
The
He's just
bamboozler.
he really is like I don't want to say clown. That sounds mean and like I'm making fun of him or something. which I'm totally not, but he's just so off. He's so weird.
We used to
Silly.
Yeah.
compare Tobizaru and Ura a lot. But the difference now is that Tobizaru has really like refined his brand of sumo, where Ura still kind of seems like he's just
Experimenting.
floundering. Yeah, experimenting at the worst possible times.
Ura is the wind. He can't be tamed. He just he comes through and disappears. You don't really understand what's happening. You know how to control it.
And
He
he's just smiling the whole time.
Yeah,
Just
we
doesn't
love
care.
Ura. But Tobizaru is definitely like coming into his own now. So it'll be interesting to see what happens next with
Yeah,
that guy.
Tobizaru is very entertaining to watch. He's like Avi. No one else is really doing what he's doing as well as he's doing it. So
Exactly.
always fun to see him do well. He hasn't been able to stay at the top rank for too long, so we'll see how that works out. But I hope the best for him.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And Koto no Waka, that is a dude that I'm excited to see. Because it's like, so Issei Gahama was the guy that was doing the rankings, and now Koto no Waka's dad's doing the rankings. So I'm like, really, I'm really curious to see how he's going to do all of this rearranging, as the year goes by. But see this. I don't think it's like nepotism to bring Kotonowaka up to Komusubi. I very much think he deserved it, and I think he should have been promoted long ago. And it makes me wonder: are they having some sort of like Ichiman like rivalry? You know, there's different factions. You know, in the JSA.
It's correct.
Oh yeah.
Nepotism.
So is like Issei Gahama, you know, in his faction, like, you know, kind of at odds with like Kotonowaka and like, you know, his dad's stable and their faction, you know.
Well, it's
got
hard to
some beef.
argue his numbers because he's gone positive and stayed at M2 3 Basho in a row and then only got bumped up to N1 and then went 9-6. And there's like, at M1, you've gone positive. Where else can you go? And so many people dropped out of Sanyaku last Basho. I think there was like 4 that left. Where it's like, well, he's gone 9-6. Everyone else has fallen off. We have to give it to him. It's just a very.
He should have been promoted up to Sanyaku a while ago. I just think they were kind of like just holding him down.
Taking a look at him, making sure that he really had the stuff.
Oh, he does. He does.
Yeah, totally.
And his dad too. Like it's funny because I didn't really watch a whole lot of like '90s bouts except for, you know, like stuff with like Konishiki and you know, Akebono, Musashimaru. But I started watching a few more '90s bouts in depth, and to see Kotonowaka the Elder, like, you know, just be he's like an Ent from Lord of the Rings. He's like a tree, just like knocking orcs around left and right. And like, you know, seeing Kotonowaka the Younger, he's like a younger tree, you know, but he still has those tree powers, and it's like, yeah, dude, get it. But I'm really curious to see how the year's gonna play out, you know, that Kotonowaka's dad's running the rankings now. And I want to see that dude succeed too.
I've slowly made my brother's girlfriend hate Lord of the Rings over the years because that she is 5'1" and I am 6'1", and there's a beautiful line in that when he's talking to Pippin and goes, "Well, that doesn't make sense to me, but you are very small, so okay."
That's an ass size, okay?
So her and her cousin that lives with us, they're both hobbits.
Right.
And I just have to live in this hobbit hole. You know, I'm just this giant Ent. And I have to live with these, you know,
Ducking under shit all the time.
Use that line at any given possibility. You will have a great time.
Thank you for that. I'm going to. Thank you.
That Harry.
That Harry.
Before we move out of Komusubi chat, I gotta tell you, top 5 favorite matches of all time was Tobizaru versus Hakuho.
Yes. Oh
It
my
was
god.
just so silly.
Man, send them through.
He's like pawing at him.
He's trying to use the force. He was trying to make us force lightning. He's like, come on, do it.
Got no idea what to do.
And poor Haku was like, just come on.
Come on. He like just stood up and was like, let's go.
You know,
Bring it
honestly, that's got to be scary as hell. Imagine having to fight Hakuho in any capacity. That's just freaking scary.
Yeah,
he
I'm
was
seeing it
so
on the thumbnail now.
unfazed. So yeah, big dreams there. I hope Tobizaru keeps entertaining. And now, Sekiwake. We've got Wakatakakage, Water Karate,
Sekiwake Wakatakakage.
Sekiwake Wakatakage.
Oh, Wakataka Kage the Sekiwake?
Wakatakakage.
No, Sekiwake Wakatakage. Hosho Ryu and Kiribayama.
Oh, Kirebayami.
That is a lot of handsome all in one spot.
That really is. I mean, those are like the poster boys. You know, that's the tiger beat of the Sanyaku. Is
Yeah.
the Sekiwakes.
And they're all quite small, really. I mean, compared to like the next group down, when you look at like Kotonowaka next to these guys.
I feel like Kiribayama is like a huge dude. Isn't he like 6'4"? I gotta see how.
It goes to
Kiribayama
show
won
the.
that thing.
Uh,
But I just mean that they're slim. You know, they're athletic for
Wakataka Kage isn't exactly slim. Man,
Well, none of
that's
them
a
are.
beefy
They're
boy.
Yeah, he's definitely I wouldn't say he's thick. I would say that he's
thick.
just kind of stacked, you know?
Yeah. This has like
Beefy.
Kiribayama's 6'1" and 300.
6'1".
Yes, and he's like 150 kilos or 300 pounds. 306. So
Yeah,
he's a big dude, you know.
Right.
He's a big hunk of burning man.
Is he supple though?
He's supple. Maybe not Haku supple, but he's supple.
Let's get down to the brass tacks. How supple you think he is? I think his
I
skin
don't
is
know
soft.
what it is. We're talking about Hakuho, like to fight Hakuho is weird. And they keep using this Japanese word that translates into English as supple. They were just like, it's just so weird to fight him because if you try to use Sapari on him, you can't because he's just so supple. I'm like, Hakuho's supple.
Did they not know the word malleable?
Supple.
Yeah.
But if he's, I mean, because I got this gut. People can't use Sapari on my gut because it's so squishy. Am I supple?
I'll try.
Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna test that.
We'll
You
see
got a
how-
good weapon there, Matt.
I'm gonna hit you like a sledge, don't you worry.
Do it. Hit me like a wrecking ball.
Careful, man. He's forklift certified.
Ooh.
Yeah, buddy.
So, you know.
So
take that.
Wakataka is just like a walking muscle. Like
Yeah.
that's just
Yeah.
yeah.
No,
So-
Wakataka Gatekeeper is my favorite sumo to watch. Because he hit some Sekiwaki 1 East and has stayed positive for a full year there. He is the absolute barrier into the top ranks. If you're an up-and-comer, you have to be able to beat him to stand a chance.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
And then Kiribayama, I just love his. I love how he just throws everybody. Like him and Hoshoryu both just
Yeah.
love to fucking throw everybody. But Kiribayama really started incorporating a lot more like Oshizumo into his style. So he's like slapping fools some more and like thrusting motherfuckers out of the ring.
This is actually a career high rank for him.
Yeah, he was Komusubi last time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he was so stoked. I saw that picture that like the JSA put on their little Twitter of him just cheesing all hard. He's like, yeah, Sekiwake. I'm
Yeah.
proud of that.
Career high for Kiribayama.
Looks like the term supple is catching on now.
Oh yeah, it's going around.
It's funny. It's in the Discord. There's like of all the different sumo channels, on Discord. One of them has one. It's like Inho with his hair down, and he's kind of doing this thing, and it just says
Oh.
supple under it.
Sounds like a rather
It's on
radiant
somebody's
picture.
emoji or their stickers or something on Discord.
Yeah.
One of the channels.
Back to cheddar.
Yeah, Kiribayama's sitting around Komusubi for about 2 years now, only dipping down to M4, and only now made a breakthrough 11-4 in order to get to Sekiwake. Very impressive by him. Doesn't post 10 plus often though, so I'm not sure how long he can hold it, but you never know. He could have unlocked what he needs.
Yeah, he got the Kanto show.
I'm hoping that he gets the fire under his buns to just go for Ozeki, because we are
His supple buns.
in the dirt with Ozeki, and we need his supple buns in the Ozeki. Right?
Now, Hoshoryu, Wakatakage, Kiribayama, I've been waiting for them to all group up in Sekiwake and kind of go head-to-head, because we know that one of those guys is either going to be an Ozeki soon or a Yokozuna someday. And
I'm rooting for Takakeisho. I really want the Battle Hamster to get to Yokozuna. And then for some of those Sekiwake boys, because honestly, I think in a couple of years, those guys are going to be in like legendary status.
Hell yeah.
here's my thing about Yokozuna, and this is me and Neil's concerted opinion. If you can't Zensho Yusho, you're not Yokozuna material.
I hate to admit it, but I think I might agree.
Consider
It's
this.
like the only meaningful...
Hakuho is a once-in-a-thousand-year talent who's poisoned your idea of what a Yokozuna should be. He was better than the rank of
Teruno
Yokozuna.
Fuji did it.
Look at Teruno Fuji and Kakadu. And those guys are pretty damn good. Haruma Fuji, and Asashoryu. Those guys were some mean Yokozunas.
And there's so much debate about what qualifies you, and I think that's the only meaningful bar, really, is you go out and you win every fight.
I don't know, Kisei no Sato, like, by the time he got to Yokozuna, things kind of started falling apart for him. But when Kisei no Sato, like early Yokozuna, like definitely his Ozeki career, like I think I can't remember if he got any Zen show U shows, but he definitely consistently got some double digits.
Yeah.
But
now,
it's kind of like how do you draw the line? I mean, I know how the JSA does the rankings and shit, but I mean, like, how can you rank that potential?
right?
Is the
I think
potential always
Takagi
going to be
Show-
there?
Yeah, Takakei has the potential, I think.
Because you
to
got to
be a
remember, we're on the other end of a golden age. Sumo's
Yeah.
never going to be as beautiful as it was in the 2010s for a while. That is just so much came together at the right time.
I think we're gonna see like a new sumo emerging. We're gonna see like a new era of sumo that like I think it can be as beautiful as what we've had, but just different, you know, like in
Yeah.
its own way. I feel like there are a lot of changes coming, especially with the shakeup in you know, who's like doing the rankings for the Banzuke and stuff now, and just like all this new talent that they have.
Even
It's,
just the Shimpan judges are all, you know, like now guys who just retired.
yeah, so I think that with all these big changes happening all at once, we're gonna see some very interesting things like blossoming from that.
Yeah, there's already been some like some shakeups. Like, was it Kisei no Sato? I guess he's a Nishonoseki Oyakata now, but he said he's gonna let people eat breakfast if they want to. So
Oh my god, not breakfast!
so I
Ruining
feel
it.
like they're kind of modernizing, you know, certain aspects
Yeah.
of sumo.
And even said that you know, for Miyagi-No stable, he wants to incorporate a lot more like modern scientific shit. You
Yeah.
know, a lot more like sports medicine and like
Yeah, he lets
why
them
not?
like lift weights and stuff, you know. So like
Makes them.
like some stables didn't, you know, they said you only stick to the traditional, you
Yeah,
know,
showdown.
traditional exercises. But I
And
don't
you
know,
look
man.
at a guy like Teruno Fuji, he hit the gym like a madman, then came out of the gates and stomped everybody and went Yoko. So
He can leg press 660 kilos.
That's exactly what I was about to say. That guy's a
That's six
beast.
of me.
I watched that video of him in the gym, and I was just like
That
I watched it multiple times. I was just like,
that's
"Jeez."
6 of me.
okay, so I've got the data here. Kiseno Sato never Zensho U showed. His best was 14-1, and he only ever won 2 U show.
That's enough to be Yokozuna, though.
it was back then. That's another thing is like the qualifications have changed over the past few decades.
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, you have like fucking Goose said, you know, you get a guy like Hakuho that just, you know, you just kind of your expectations get kind of raised to inhuman levels.
Yeah,
For sure.
Hakuho, Asashoryu, like they raised the bar above Yokozuna, and we're coming off a golden age, you know. It's like sumo lives in Hakuho's shadows these days. The amount of times we've brought him up when he's been retired for how long now? It's like,
Well, he's changed the sport, yeah.
yeah,
But I think it's important to remember that Ozeki means champion. It's someone who's won a U show, has done very well for themselves, and then they had to create a rank called Yokozuna to represent who is the best Ozeki. So there doesn't have to be one. Really,
Yeah.
it's an extraordinary category to divide the Ozekis into like who's really the grand champion.
because the way I
So-
look at it is like the Ozekis should be the people contending for the title. The Sanyaku should be the people that can upset that, and everyone below him are fighting for second place. You know,
Yeah, just muscling for rank.
scrambling for
Right.
it. And then Yokozuna is just Mr. Number One himself.
Someone who's going to win if they show up. Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's more of like to be like the living embodiment, you know, of the spiritual aspect of sumo. That's why they get to wear the suna, you know, that the big white belt. You
Right.
see those like on Shinto temples, you know. And so I think it's that's really to say, you know, this person is an avatar, you know, like a link between heaven and earth.
Yeah,
you know,
Takemitsuchi's avatar.
yeah, like a demigod, a living demigod. And I think to have that type of licensure, to have like there's a whole council of people that decides if you have the stuff or not. And so I think it's something special, you know, it's something grandiose, you know, and I think like Yokozuna isn't just like a regular rank. It's not just like a regular ass rank. It's like a position of.
It's not something you naturally get just
Yeah.
because you keep doing well. I read somewhere that the first Yokozuna, like all the Ozekis from previous tournaments were gathered around. This is like way back. They were all talking about who was the best and comparing their records, and he tied a rope around his waist and said, "If you're better than me, come take it."
That's pretty cool.
Wow.
And they couldn't, so that's why they wear the rope. I wasn't there, so I can't substantiate that. But
I
isn't that a nice
completely
piece of
believe that
mythology?
lie, though.
Sounds good, right?
Yeah.
It does sound good.
You're not entertained.
I heard it was like a bunch of aristocrats wanted like
They wanted to be able to let them
What
do their
was it?
dohyo iri for some sort of, was it the harvest?
something. I don't know.
Whole
But it
thing's
was
a
like-
harvest ritual, yeah.
They had to give them a license to do something. God, my history is suffering.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it's my
They got,
bedtime.
like,
Yeah, it's getting late.
certificates and
Yeah,
they
it's
had
like
so basically they gave them a
4:30 in the
certificate
afternoon
that
on a
gave
Friday.
them- You bastard!
I got a great night planned.
Cool, lucky.
No, there was an episode on Sumo Kaboom about it, and I can't believe I'm drawing a blank about like
Yeah,
what the. God
Watch
damn it.
Sumo Kaboom.
yeah.
Dude. You should.
And
Sumo
Salt City
Kaboom.
Sumo.
That's what got me on the whole podcasting thing with Sumo Kaboom. I was like, I want to be like those ladies. They live in our town. Well, not our town, but our city, our area.
Really?
Flex.
They coming to the
Yeah.
cup?
Lori is doing commentating on the cup.
Is she?
Yeah. Like it's her and Bruce. Her and Bruce from Tachiai are doing like
Oh,
And
get
Neil.
out of town. Bruce Henderson?
Yeah. So they're doing that again this year?
Yeah.
Nice. Even after the whole men's butts issue.
So it was funny. Lori and Bruce, they were on, just doing the commentary, and Lori just kind of keeps going on, about butt cheeks. Then she just stops Bruce dead ass. It was like, you know what? I want to talk about men's butts. And Bruce is just like, I am not a subject matter expert.
Never really
I
thought
love
about it.
My favorite part of the whole live stream.
Yeah. Neil's going to be on commentary
Oh.
for the Cowboy Cup as well.
Wait, what's up?
Neil's going to be on commentary for the Cowboy Cup as well. I haven't told Corey yet, but I've decided it's going to happen.
I'm going to be
Yeah.
on the floor doing interviews.
I'm going to be on the podium with the first place medal or whatever you people do down there.
Yeah, and then we're going to throw it away.
You're gonna have some competition, some very stiff competition to get that medal.
I would hope so.
What's your weight class? What weight class are you gonna compete in?
I don't know. You can do weight classes down there? I thought it was open.
Oh, there's
there's
an
open
open.
too,
There's
right?
there's regulation and then there's open.
Oh, I'm coming for both then.
Nice.
I'm-
Something like
What am I?
how much you weigh?
What's that in pounds? Like 220, 230 pounds, I think.
Siggy
So-
just
100
chimed
kilos.
in.
Oh, what'd she say?
Those folks you mentioned are not yet confirmed, but apparently Neil is. Neil's in.
My word is law.
Don't fuck with the man in the metal mask.
So if you're around 230, I think is that light heavy? Because
Whatever 100 kilos is into pounds, I'm not looking it up. I'm too
220.
afraid.
I think
Yeah.
you'd be light heavy. So like 254, like 254 pounds is when heavyweight starts.
Yeah,
And
so,
so
he's
yeah,
light.
that means you'd be in the same weight class as Jared Tadlock, Cornelius Booker, Eric
Oh.
Wynn.
Can I get an email of this information? Because we got to do some research.
No, are these boys
Yeah,
some killers, or
Eric
am I going to be
Wynn,
alright?
Eric Wynn's Tachiai is a lot like you're getting hit by a Volvo.
Jared
Alright, I just
Tadlock
won't get hit by it then.
champion.
Yeah, Jared Tadlock's a Texas State champion, and I'm stoked to see what Jared does at nationals. 'cause
Please.
he is.
Give me as
Jared-
much data as you can.
Jared flaps me around like a pancake, like anytime that I fight him. He either smashes me down or he throws me, and he's got pro wrestling experience. So that boy is agile, very agile.
I just say I'm very glad that the Cowboy Cup is going to be air conditioned this time.
Oh, gonna be inside.
Be indoors. Like 107 degrees at the last one.
Oh,
It was
Yeah,
that's
outdoors,
brutal.
Yeah, 50 Celsius is what it was.
The shade. But
That's warm.
That was under the tent thing. Man,
That's
but
warm.
the Cowboy Cup was probably the like most well-oiled tournament that I've ever competed in. Like everything went like clockwork. Live stream was beautiful.
for the
Like
first tournament, actually hosted by Dallas Sumo Club, it was very well put together.
it was
Like,
super stoked to be a part of the whole thing. It was
Yeah.
fucking great.
yes, very meticulously crafted tournament, and it was a
Yeah.
beautiful thing.
Nah,
I'm
Corey's awesome. I had a great time with him, so it's good to hear that he does good work.
Oh hell
Yeah.
yeah!
It's the one thing, the only thing was it being outdoors in the middle of June, which is summer for us here on this hemisphere, and it being, it's just so fucking hot. So of course they
Yeah, the
the first thing they
organizers.
said afterward was like, all right, we're doing this indoors next year.
Yeah, because I saw FitCon. The FitCon had a stop before the Texas stop, and that was in Salt Lake City, and that's where the U.S. Sumo Nationals were held last year. Was in Salt Lake City, and so we're like, oh, look at FitCon in Salt Lake City. It's all indoors. I bet they're going to be, all air conditioned. And then we get to Fort Worth, and it's like 100 outside, and there's dudes walking around in metal armor, like they were knights, like full on knights.
Metal armor, you say?
Yeah,
Why?
they were like, well, they were there to do their own medieval fighting championship thing.
Oh, full contact sword fighting?
Hema.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh, that
So-
is the coolest shit I've ever seen in my life. It's just like 40 dudes in a mud pit beating the shit out of each other with axes.
One of those guys came and actually competed in the Open
Yeah.
Oh wow.
for the Cowboy
Oh.
Cup. Yeah.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh, this is sumo." It's like, "Okay, what are the rules?" And so he just strips off his armor, puts on a mawashi, and registers. And he did good. He did really good. Shit.
That's
He was
awesome.
he was from Oklahoma like me, so I felt a little pride.
Yeah, Okies don't feel pain, so.
Hey man, Oklahomans invented noodling. Noodling is when you just stick your hand into a catfish hole and pull the catfish out of the hole. So yeah,
Yeah.
we're barbarians.
I was in a production of Grapes of Wrath. That's the closest I've ever come to being from Oklahoma.
Oh man, you're not missing much.
You said June 17th?
I went to Las
I think
Vegas
17.
once. It was the closest I've been to Oklahoma.
That is definitely like a little far.
Closer than Australia. Wait, what did we just say? 17th?
Yeah, I think it's June 17th. I think Siggy knows for sure, but if I'm remembering correctly, I think it's June 17th.
Yeah, I need to get the dates on that so I can fly to your country. I'm still waiting for Corey to
point,
get back to me. It's been a month since he said 2 weeks. Love the guy.
Yeah,
but-
so-
Corey is busy. He was at nationals right now, but seriously, like Corey has like so much going on at any given moment. It's insane, and I'm
yeah, that's why
surprised.
I'm not bugging him. Where it's like, oi, come
Yeah.
on, we talked about this.
He will though. He'll get back to you. He will.
Yeah,
But
but
shit's just wild right now.
They're getting
All that's left.
the Rollertown Showdown.
Oh
That's
yeah.
going to be on April 29th. It's at Rollertown Beer Works in Salina, Texas. They are debuting a new beer specifically for this tournament.
Ooh.
Like they went there last year and did like a demo, and I guess the owners of the brewery were so impressed that they were like, "Fuck it, let's just have a tournament at the brewery, and we'll come out with a new beer for it."
Yeah, we picked up 2 of our hardcore, Dallas Sumo Club members from that demo too, and now
Yeah.
they're full on,
Sumo and beer just goes together, you know?
Man, I don't even drink alcohol, but man, I have my non-alcoholic beers, and it's just great to after a keiko or after a tournament, you just crack open some suds and it's just magnifique.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Get some bubbles on your tongue. All that's left in the Banzuke breakdown here is Takakeisho, who, what is there to say?
13-2.
And Teruno Fuji, who's not even in it.
Yeah, well, Teru, he needs to rest. He's got to get his RoboCop knees, a little bit of time to adjust.
Yep.
And then, he'll be smacking the shit out of foes in no
I
time.
thought we were done.
Well, yeah, we were. I mean,
I
there's
just want to
nothing
bring
else
up
to
a
say,
point
really.
that PBJ mentioned in the chat.
What do
It's like
say
you
about
dream
that?
of there being a Canadian sumo scene. Be it.
What, dream of Canadian sumo?
Be the Canadian sumo scene, man. You only need one other person to have a competition.
Yeah, DIY, man.
Be the Canadian sumo you want to see in the world.
Yeah,
Just start-
exactly.
Sumo in the park every weekend, man. Just set it up, advertise it, put posters around, put something online, bring anyone to come through.
One other person.
I heard BC, like British Columbia, had like a sumo team going on, but I know Canada is a huge ass freaking country, so I know if this person's in Toronto, they're probably not going to be able to go to BC for a Keiko.
Yeah. Where it's like you don't need to have like a proper organization or everything. You can just buy 20 meters of rope and go to the park and start doing sumo.
There was a pro. There was a former pro that actually lives in Canada. Brody, yeah. Yeah, Brody. Yeah, Brody joined a stable and then decided he did not like how.
I don't think he actually participated in any boss shows. He didn't. From what we hear anyway, he didn't like the stable life, so he came back home to Canada.
But yeah, Brody was brutal in like the amateur scene. Like what was that, the 2017, 2018 US Sumo Open? That he won that open, and it was like, damn. And you could look at Brody's Facebook now, like his little banner, is what do they call that banner at the top? But it's just him supariing some dude. It's a beautiful black and white picture.
Yeah. So there is sumo in Canada. You just have to kind of look around, and if it's not in your area, dude, literally just get like one other person. I think Oscar Dolan, when he first started New York Sumo, he made his dad do it with him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, there are ways to get that sort of thing started, for sure.
You need one other person to create a sumo scene in your town, and you can get it started.
Pretty much. You get one other person, and you could do the videos. I mean, like, what's that, Takeshi Amitani? Like, he's got that Amita Sumo Dojo, like, on YouTube, and he's even has, like, a paid version where there's, like, more intensive, lessons. So if you have someone to kind of check your work with while you're doing these videos, making sure you have good positioning, and then if you get the chance to just actually go and train with someone that, does sumo, you could get, like, minor adjustments, like, oh, you want to make sure your posture's just bent a little bit more forward, or, make sure your feet are under your butt. And
that's one thing that the U.S. sumo teams do a lot is they will travel to different parts of the country. Maybe not the whole team, maybe just like one or two people will go out, to a new sumo club that's just started up and like, show them the ropes, show them how to do some things, or just go out there to train with them, like, for fun, because you get better the more different people you train with.
Yeah, like Nate Hudson. Nate Hudson does the was it the Kuma Sumo Bears? That's at Antioch High School in Nashville. Yeah. And so like. Team. Yeah, so he trained with guys from the Ohio Sumo Dayton, and who else did he train with? I can't remember. Oh yeah, and he did train with Raijin. Yeah. But that's he just traveled, and got trained up and learned, like proper form and everything. So that's what's really cool about US Sumo is like a lot of the elite wrestlers are very much wanting people to get good so that they have
better people to fight.
Yeah. And I love that. Like we were talking about Eric Wynn, that has a Tachi like a Volvo, but he's part of Raijin in North Carolina, and he's just so he's just bright and he's happy and he's really stoked about things. But when he gets into the dojo, it's like something in him flips, and it's just like, it's just mean. He's not nice Eric whenever he's inside that ring.
No friends in tournament.
Yeah, but whenever he steps out the dojo, he's smiling again. But man, he's helped kind of coach me on some of like my postures, some of my movements. It's just some exercises to do to kind of like strengthen some areas where I might be kind of flopping a little.
It's like sumo are on social media. If you just like reach out to somebody, like reach out to them on Instagram, reach out to them on their Twitter or whatever the fuck they have, and just say, hey, I'm interested in starting my own sumo club where I'm at. Do you have some tips for that?
Sure.
And like people are so willing to just info dump on you about like, okay, you're gonna need this, you're gonna need this. Yeah. It doesn't really actually take a lot of like material shit to get a sumo club started. People literally just like take a fucking backyard hose and like do it in a circle. You know?
No, over the last year, I've been getting more and more immersed in the Gaijin sumo world, and like I've been reaching out to have guests on the show and things like that, and trying to get other people involved. And something I've noticed is this is how every single conversation goes. Hey, do you want to talk about sumo? Yes.
Hey, I was just gonna say that. Yeah, the top dudes in the sport are like, yeah, sure.
I live stream sumo daily because I like talking about sumo. If you approach me, I will talk to you about sumo. Exact same with the Sumo Punx. Hey, you want to get on a
You
show
actually
and
can't
talk about
stop me.
sumo? I would love to talk about sumo.
Yeah, we're like that meme of that kid that's just sitting there, like looking like with the vein in his head, like haven't talked about sumo in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're always willing to like like just flap our gums about all things sumo,
Yeah.
amateur, pro, whatever.
I like that U.S. sumo is so divorced from the source of sumo that the styles here are so interesting and different. Like a lot of Western sumo, you see almost like a Greco-Roman style.
Yeah.
There's a
The
lot
guys.
of, yeah,
Oh,
there's
go
a
ahead.
lot of former like either freestyle wrestling or Greco-Roman. In fact, the Garza brothers that are on Dallas Sumo, like they did Greco-Roman whenever they were in high school. And with Bubba especially, you can see a lot of like his like upper body work like is very much, in tune with
Yeah,
Greco-Roman.
a lot of ex-wrestlers, ex-football players,
Oh
people who
yeah.
come from other martial arts, like
There's a lot of
judo,
jujitsu players.
jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's
And
kind of what I was about to say. Is the guys I train with are we got one dude who's a black belt in Eagle style kung fu, another
wow.
guy who's a black belt in Taekwondo. I have one in karate, and then another dude who just like grew up in a bad part of town and got beat up a lot. So none of that is sumo. And everything that happens when we're all lightweight and stuff, so it's like we're following the rules of sumo, but it really doesn't even resemble it except for the ring.
if you think about this, lightweight sumo itself is almost a completely different sport, than the big boys.
Oh, yeah.
Big boy sumo, it's all about raw power, brute force. And don't get me wrong, there's some
There's
skill.
weight classes.
Yeah, there's skill involved with the big boy sumo, but when you get to the lightweights, it's
Yeah.
way more brutal. There's a lot more room for level changes, a lot more room for like grappling, throwing, like a lot more. It's more like high speed chess.
Yeah, I noticed that watching the US Sumo Open is that the lightweight division kind of looks like, the Central Asian pancration style wrestling. And there's people
Yeah.
running around at points even, trying to get out of position, things like that. It's a completely different style.
Yeah, there's the guy that actually, Corey, Corey, the guy that taught Corey, who taught me and pretty much the whole club, him and Jared. But the guy that taught Corey, Justin Kizzert, like he is like a world class lightweight wrestler, sumo wrestler, and he is freaking amazing. Like to just see just to see how he works, how his mind's going whenever he's fighting. It's mind boggling to behold. But
So, a great butt.
Yeah.
One of the best butts in amateur sumo.
Justin Kizzard does have some cheeks.
Furthering the
He does.
advice of PBJ, something to think about is start hitting up like jujitsu or judo clubs in your area and say, hey, like once a month or once every 2 weeks, could I rent out on the weekend your dojo? Like I'll pay you to use your space, and we're gonna do like a sumo club thing. You can spectate and all of that, because that'll cover a lot of the equipment that you need in order to do it.
Yep. Really, just to start, one of the first things that you would, of course, the mawashi, but like even just like a battle rope, like I got a battle rope in there. That's what we first started with, was a battle rope. What we're currently using in Dallas, we have a dohyo. It's like the Tawara is made out of PVC pipe and swimming pool noodles.
Yeah.
But
Right.
it's great.
And you
I
don't
love
even
it.
necessarily need to like find a place to like rent mat time. The De La Torre, or wait, who was it that has the backyard dojo?
Oh, that's the De La Torre brothers.
Okay, yeah, the De La Torre brothers out in California, they literally just have like a backyard dojo, and their club is based out of their backyard, and people do that, from what I hear anyway, out in Hawaii a lot as well. So
Yeah, I want to
it's
make a
not
backyard
expensive
dojo.
to start.
I have one. We just got out there with shovels, piled the dirt up, and it's like lawn tennis almost. Like there's grass on it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Then
Yeah.
instead of tawadas, we just dug the whole doyo down a little bit, so there's like a lip at the edge.
Nice.
I
Yeah,
think
every few months or so, I've got 15 meters of rope in my car, and just when the lads are around, just head to the park out back my place and just do some keiko for the fun of it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, man. Even like what Dallas used to do, like on the Wednesday practices, you know, because there's Sunday morning and Wednesday morning. The Wednesday practices they used to do at a park in Oak Cliff, and they would just do it in the grass. You know, they put the
Yeah.
battle rope in the grass, and then just. I mean, you might get like a little bit of bug bites, maybe some grass burn every now and again, or if it was early enough in the morning where there's dew, on the grass,
A
kind
little
of
wet.
get some slippy atoshis going.
that's a good way to get people to join your club too, because people walking through the park or just walking by, they're going to be curious, and they may even come up and ask questions, and maybe even ask to try it out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why I was saying earlier, like, if you can make up a sign that's like free sumo practice, come join, and then just put that around where you're doing that. That's an invitation for people to come through.
Yeah, I just want there to be more people that are into sumo. I just really want it to get bigger and bigger. And right now it's really on a tear. Like amateur sumo is like really growing like worldwide. It's crazy how many people are starting to get into it. But places like in Eastern Europe, they actually pay people to train and get good at sumo. And I'm like, man, why don't we have anything like that? I really just want to start haranguing the government about like just pay us to get good at sumo. Pay us to kick ass at sumo. You want Team USA to be good? Pay us to be good.
To be fair, that Central Asian, Kazakhstan kind of region is just massive into wrestling in general. Mongolians have their own style. There's a few others. I don't remember the names of. There's
Even
Sambo
Swiss
as
have their own
well.
style.
Khabib from one of the greatest fighters of UFC. He lives and breathes wrestling. He comes from that area. It's just like the culture there is just wrestling is everything.
I mean, look at the wrestlers that actually were able to make it into Makuuchi. Like Koto Oshu and Baruto, freaking Tochinoshin, Gagamaru. All those guys, Eastern European beasts.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh man. And they're even in judo, like Eastern Europeans like really excel at judo too. And it's just like, man, I want to be a grappler, damn it.
It's good fun.
Guys,
I'd be happy to
gal.
train with you when I head over there for an afternoon if you wanted. Because I've got a bit
Ladies,
of jiu-jitsu
gentlemens.
experience and other things to my name.
Hell yeah. No, the only
We
thing
are-
that I really have experience is just I did wrestling whenever I was in school, and that was it.
Yeah, fair.
Hold on, before we do any more anecdotes, we're reaching the last few minutes here.
Rut-row.
Okay.
If we want to have a nice round number, and I do.
Yeah.
What do you got for plugs? Little shout outs? Join the Salt City Discord. You can bother these lovely folks if you have questions about where to start looking and asking people.
And well, we are Sumo Punx. Most of our podcast is interviewing a lot of other sumo clubs about starting their own sumo clubs. So we have a whole library of episodes, and you could hear us pick people's brains, and you could get some ideas.
I don't think it's most of our podcast, but we do have a lot of episodes about that. Basho coverage, and then just like random weird shit. Like we did a whole episode on the juxtaposition of sumo and crime. So just random stuff like that. We're all over social media. Sumo Punx is spelled with an X.
For extra sex.
Yeah, except if you go to our Twitter, it's Punk Sumo. Because I fucked up the Twitter.
Oh, and as far as shout outs go, I want to give a shout out to the whole Texas Ichiman that is going to be competing in nationals on Saturday. I really want to give a huge hurrah to freaking Dallas. Like Corey's going to be there, Jared's going to be there, Sean's going to be there, the Twister sisters. Eton's going to be there. Freaking Beastman, the new Matt, Beastman Matt. Yeah. Did I say Sean? Oh, and Hayden. Oh man, Hayden competed in the Open, and he fought all of those huge dudes in heavyweight in the U.S. Sumo Open, and I'm really stoked. I fought Hayden like last Keiko, and he kicked my ass. I'm really stoked to see how he,
Nice.
how he does in the nationals. But seriously. Thank you, Dallas Sumo Club, for letting me do sumo with you guys. I love the hell out of you, and I want to see you guys.
Big
kick
ups, Dallas.
everyone's-
Yeah, we love Corey. We love Siggy. They're great people doing good work.
They are.
yeah.
They are. They're amazing.
We do have the April 29th, the Roller Town Showdown Sumo Tournament at the Roller Town Beer Works in Salina, Texas. Is it Salina?
Salina. I've heard both.
Do you know if there's going to be a live stream for that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, there's a whole live stream crew for that. So that's going to be on the Dallas Sumo Club YouTube channel, April 29th.
Yes, and then it's June 17th, the Cowboy Cup.
Cowboy Cup.
Yes, that's, oh man,
I'm
can't
stoked for
fucking
that
wait.
one. And I can't wait to see you guys so I can Tachi the shit out of both of you.
I'm gonna break your arms.
That sentence was going, so I can touch ya. I was like, okay.
I'm gonna come through like a
Let's do it.
hurricane and beat the crap out of you.
Do it.
All
Ike,
right.
you got anything?
Yeah, we got. We're going to be broadcasting as much of this tournament as we can. There's some
Guaranteed
personal
all
things
15
going
days.
on. Holy shit! All right. Well, you heard it here first. I'm not going to get any sleep, and my other job is going to fire me.
But it'll be.
But
worth
I'm here
it.
for you. I love you, babies. We're going to be starting up Saturday night, Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon, depending on where you are in the world. Gonna have some good guests on. I'm gonna keep talking to these fine folks here, the Sumo Punx. Yeah,
We'll be harassing you in your on your chats on your live
Friend
stream.
of the show,
Yeah.
Sumo Punx.
I want to start like a war between our viewers. You know, like ours will go to yours and be like, "Fuck you," and your guys come over and like talk about butts and shit in our chat. Ah,
Dig it.
it's gonna be a lovely tournament.
Maybe she does not smell like corn chips.
Wish
Thanks
I
everybody
could
for
say the
tuning
same.
in, stopping by.
Yeah,
I'm
appreciate you
Ike,
coming
got
through, getting on
Goose.
the mo with us.
At the Sumo Punx. Peace, love, and sumo.
Officially sponsored by the Kings, Big Daddy Deluxe, double swag.